Hey guys,
Hello, welcome back everybody to episode 14 of Reg in the Zoo.
it's episode 14 and it feels like it's still our first episode.
Yeah, I believe in the intro you said 15.
No way.
I'm pretty sure you did.
No way. Hey, whatever. It's episode 14.
We'll just do a quick edit where we'll just throw 14.
14.
Right over it.
It's 14. So, we've got some interesting things to talk about as per usual. We're going to obviously do the local thing, sports, music, movies. And then we try to talk about things that aren't necessarily talked about everywhere else. That's the goal. Other goals, sort of just give ourselves some practice, keep getting better. Obviously, it's just still the two of us, but we've already got one person who's sort of interested in coming around, and that's Brent. And he's actually going to be working with us probably at the regular 9 to 5er. So that's
the
cool.
reg.
So that's sort of interesting. We'll probably, by the time the next episode comes around, we'll probably have somebody else here to help out with just getting some time codes, and they might help do some editing and stuff like that, so we can have just maybe some cuts or some shorter form videos for y'all. Because we know that there's not a whole lot of people listening, but there's probably at least one or two, and maybe one sick little kid that's like somehow picking up our signal, even though he's trapped in a barn somewhere.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, so it's Reg in the Zoo, baby, and
What the fuck?
no, I was just saying there's probably one little kid out there who's trapped in a barn, like really warm,
okay.
warm and dehydrated, but like the only sign of life he has is just this little signal that he's somehow picking up on like this old AM radio that's just
Like-
hot wired.
Like frequency?
Yeah, he's chained to the wall and he's been in there for like 17 days, but he's living like on this rabbit meat that he managed to scrape, and he's got hidden under the hay.
Maggot meat.
No, rabbit.
Rabbit
Like
meat?
a bunny rabbit.
Oh,
He got one. Yeah.
what the fuck?
That'd be a good movie, I think.
Let's make it.
I've been thinking of a lot of good movies to make, actually. It's difficult. You wish that you had all the time and money in the world, but we were actually going to talk about how things can be done at scale and get started. One of which that you brought up was Always Sunny and how that got started.
Yeah, dude. Dude, how fucking sweet is it? I think they made their opening pilot for like $300 or something. There's a couple $100. They used their own camera. They even went around, filmed the intro of the show. They just took a camera, drove around Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like them three.
The actual intro is still like they're almost from like their original intro, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so that thing's
And they
almost,
use like music that was old and not licensable, I think.
yeah, it's almost 20 years old.
I've always thought like it would be cool to use music of yesteryear that like specifically find music that people don't have licensing on, not to like bastardize it, but to use it and like unearth it, like give it the life it deserves in terms of using old music that nobody's listened to forever and using that rather than try and use a budget for a song or a thing like that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's pretty cool. I would love to find out more about that, and that's ultimately the goal in my career would be like do something with a movie, film somehow, make a horror film or be on a set for a good production of a film.
Well, horror movies are like the best ones to start off with, too. Like a lot of, like John Carpenter, some of the first shit he did was horror, like obviously like Halloween and everything. And then he pretty much ended up just sticking with that. But he originally wanted to make Westerns. But, you know, those were expensive. Those are expensive. Any like time period piece like that when you got to build full on sets unless you're going to CG it. But, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of takes away from it. But he wanted to do Westerns, but he couldn't do them. So he did horror because the budget was low and you can make a lot of money doing them.
Set and costume are two of my favorite things about movies, especially when it's a time period piece.
Yeah. I really like that.
Like
Paid close
Django,
attention.
Tarantino always does a good job with his costumes.
Even Once Upon a Time. Like I actually felt for
Yeah.
a little bit, you almost feel like that movie is actually made in that time period for a
Right.
little bit, but then
Yeah, there's a lot of attention to detail in those movies. Trying to think of another one that I was just watching. One of the best time period pieces, though, of all time, is a movie called A Serious Man, and it's by the Coen brothers. And there's in the DVD, back when DVDs were normal,
DVDs.
there was a whole like section in the DVD menu of how they transformed it into like a late 1960s suburb, and they like took out power lines and they took out sidewalks. Like there was no sidewalks, and there was just so many little things like old antennas on the houses. Just really incredible costume and set design. That Serious Man is a great movie. Also, The Village, great set design. They built that whole village for that movie.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that movie back in the day when I saw it. I guess I was expecting something a little different than I watch it, now. The movie's fucking great.
It's definitely up there in my top films, especially this time of year, because we're in the Northeast in Buffalo, New York,
Fighting Buffalo.
and we have great falls and real spooky seasons in the fall. It gets kind of weird here.
I think if you go up by like Lewiston, like right along the water there, or like what is it, Youngstown, and if you drive along the water, or if you just go down there, like there's some great spots because there's some older houses. And then you got the water right there. Like that's just a perfect setting in the fall, like around this time. Well,
Yeah.
maybe more October, even November-ish, because that still has like that fall feel to it, like
Yeah.
dead trees and everything.
Yeah.
That would be a great setting for a horror movie.
There's
for
a
sure.
lot of small towns too that just have like natural old, like almost Western front buildings that
Yeah.
are perfect, and that's why like John Krasinski came here to film, because we have like that nostalgic. There's so many little towns like around Buffalo that you could film a good horror movie in. So come to Buffalo and shoot a horror movie.
Did you see the part in the trailer with the bridges over on Grand Island?
No, well, yeah, I did see the trailer.
Yeah.
I saw this is for A Quiet Place 2, by the
Yeah,
way, that
yeah.
they shot here, because we have this tax break, I guess, that makes you save thousands of dollars on budget if you film here.
Probably millions.
Yeah,
When it's
true.
all said and done.
Yeah, definitely.